If you've been wondering, what is a Media Lab and why do I have to do one, here you go. Sometimes students wonder why they have to do Media Labs. Many people are very comfortable using PowerPoint or Prezi, or they have some favorite software that they've used before. The goal of a Media Lab is to give you a chance to try out something new, much like my little animation at the beginning. I'm curious about including animations for my students in the future, but I've been anxious about getting started with it because it seems really difficult. And even though my little animation is nothing to write home about, it's still the first step towards what might become perhaps an obsession with animating things. Who's to say? So the first big goal is that it gives you a chance to try new software, and you're going to test it and you're going to check and see if it works for you. You're going to look for problems with it. You're going to see if for some reason things that I tried out a couple years ago that were free are now charging money, so you can tell me about it and I can update my tutorial page to take that one off. There's all kinds of things where you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket and waiting until it's almost time for the presentation to be due to check to see that the software that you used a couple years ago that was pretty neat is now no longer supported and doesn't work anymore is a bad plan. If you give yourself a little time up front to just sort of play around with your software and see if it's working out and if you can use it in the way that you've planned to use it, that will give you a lot more peace of mind going forward. And it'll also give you a chance to sort of think through how you might go ahead and do your presentation. And that's the second big benefit, is it gives you sort of a chance to see what the capabilities of the software are, and that can give you a chance to sort of think through how you will structure and make your presentation more interesting. You may find that one type of presentation is actually really easy and fun and it becomes something that you use a lot. Like my little animation at the beginning, I made using Procreate, and I use Procreate for drawing all the time, but I don't really use it for animating even though it has that function. You might decide to put together 2 or 3 different elements to make a better presentation. One of the really important parts of doing a Media Lab is writing the review. The review of the software is really useful because first of all, it gives you a chance to let your classmates know that something is or isn't a lot of fun or useful. If you find that you don't like some software, you can explain why you don't like it. Maybe somebody who has a different perspective on, how things operate would feel differently about it than you do. You never know. So giving a good review about the limitations that you found can be really, really helpful for your classmates when they are looking through everybody else's Media Labs to see what software they might want to use that they didn't use for their Media Lab, so you can kind of give other people ideas as well. So it's really important to provide an overview of what was great and what was terrible whenever you're trying to write Media Lab. The final benefit of a Media Lab is that it is a low stakes assignment, meaning that it is not going to make or break your grade if you turn in whatever you manage to produce with some new software that you're trying out. And even if it's pretty bad, even if it's not a coherent concept, even if it's just pictures of your cat strung together, if you've tried out new software and you've written a good review of it, you're still going to get the points for the assignment. Media Labs are intentionally meant for experimenting so that you can test it out and see, first of all, if it's going to meet your needs, and finally, if it is going to be able to be something you can turn in. Because sometimes, you can turn in all kinds of things, either through your portfolio website or through the Canvas site, or even just by emailing them. But sometimes students have limitations as far as how well they know how to do something. So if for the Media Lab you try out some new software and you're like, I love this, but I have no idea how to turn in whatever file type, you have time to come to me and I can usually help you figure it out. Or you have time to go to a computer lab on campus, or you have time to call the technical people on campus and ask them, how the heck do I turn this thing in? It's, it's an MP4 or it's, some other kind of file type, and they might have insights to help you turn it in so that you can still use the software you want. That's another reason to give it a try early on, is that if everything goes wrong and you just, maybe it's a proprietary software and everybody has to have the right kind of account in order to access your materials, then that's probably not the best choice. So it really is a chance in a low stakes environment to try out new software, see how it works for you, get some ideas for your presentation, put together a review to help your classmates, and then just don't stress about it. Just try to get it done, and you're just experimenting, you're just playing around with new software and letting me know how it worked for you. If you treat it as just another box to tick, where you're like, I'll just do a PowerPoint because I've done PowerPoint and PowerPoint's what I do, then it might seem like busy work. If you use it as an opportunity to actually go to the tutorial page and like, I'm trying out Adobe Express because I get 50 points for this no matter how terrible my outcome is, as long as I turn something in and review it, I'm good, then that's the spirit of the assignment, is to be trying something new. So hopefully that also clarifies the purpose of the assignment.